Hi everyone, welcome to the session of ECA Electronic Circuit Analysis. In this session, we will learn about crossover distortion and class AB amplifier and class C power amplifier. So, in previous session, we have covered that is what is complementary symmetry power amplifier. What is the difference between push-pull amplifier and complementary symmetry power amplifier? What are the advantages of a complementary symmetry amplifier? What are the disadvantages of complementary symmetry amplifier? And we have some crossover distortion in the class B power amplifier. So these topics we have covered in previous session, and now we will see what is meant by crossover distortion, how we can eliminate the crossover distortion, and what is class C amplifier and class AB amplifier. So these topics we will cover in this session. Okay. So first one, crossover distortion. So this distortion appears in class B amplifiers. So normally for any transistor, that transistor to be in active region, the base emitter junction must be forward biased. We know in order to conduct a transistor, the base emitter junction of transistor should be forward biased. The junction cannot be made forward biased till the voltage applied becomes greater than the cutting voltage of the junction. So until the voltage at the junction, that is base emitter junction, is 0.7 volts, at that until that position, the transistor is in off condition. So that is the base emitter junction cannot be made forward bias until the voltage is greater than the cut-in voltage, that is 0.7 volts. For silicon it is 0.7, for germanium it is 0.2 volts. Okay, so hence as long as the magnitude of the input signal is less than the cut-in voltage, the collector current remains zero and the transistor remains in cut-off region. So as long as the input signal is less than 0.7 volts at the base emitter junction, the transistor is in off condition or the transistor is in cut-off region, there is no collector current. Okay, so that is the point here. Hence there is a period between the crossing of the half cycles of the input signal for no transistor or none of the transistors is active and the output is zero. Hence the nature of the output signal gets distorted and no longer remains same as the input signal. So such distortion is called crossover distortion. So if you observe class B power amplifier, if you take class B power amplifier, push-pull, let us consider push-pull configuration. In push-pull configuration, we are using two transistors. Okay, so let us consider we are applying some positive half cycle. During the positive half cycle, one transistor is on, and here we are using some center taper transformer. Because of the center taper transformer, only one transistor is connected. Okay, and until the voltage at that transistor is greater than 0.7 volts, the transistor will be in off condition only. Whenever the input signal is greater than 0.7 only, the transistor is in on condition and the output will appear or the collector current will pass through that terminal. Okay, so that is here. This is the positive half cycle. This is during the that is due to the first transistor. Due to the first transistor, we have some positive half cycle, and up to this position, there is no output signal. There is no output signal. If you observe the figure, up to this position, there is no signal. Okay, that means until the voltage crosses the cut-in voltage, that is V gamma, then only the transistor is on, then only the output appears. Okay, whenever again if the transistor voltage becomes less than 0.7 volts, then automatically this is in off condition. Okay, and next, during the negative half cycle, second transistor is on. During the negative half cycle, second transistor is on. So when second transistor is on, that is same case. That is, if it is greater than minus 0.7 volts only, that will be on. That transistor will be on, and then only we can get some output signal. Okay, so that means whenever the input signal crosses the cut-in voltage only, the transistor is on, output will appear. So this is because of this condition. Because of this condition, we have some distortion at the output because the output is not exactly as the input signal. The output is distorted when compared with the input signal. So that type of distortion is known as crossover distortion. So such a distortion in the output signal is called crossover distortion. So due to the crossover distortion, each transistor conducts for less than half cycle rather than complete half cycle. If you see the figure, it is not full cycle, full half cycle. Okay. So because of this distortion, each transistor conducts for less than half cycle. This is not complete half cycle. This is less than half cycle. Okay. So here we have the crossover distortion in class B amplifiers. That means both transistors will be in off condition at this situation. Okay. So how we can eliminate crossover distortion? Okay. So to eliminate the crossover distortion, some modifications are necessary in the basic circuit of class B power amplifier. We are taking some modifications in order to eliminate the crossover distortion for the class B power amplifier. Okay. So here the basic reason is crossover distortion. The basic reason means the cut-in voltage of the transistor junction. So to overcome the cut-in voltage, we are using some forward bias diodes. That is, we are maintaining the diodes in the forward bias condition. So to overcome this cut-in voltage, a small forward bias is applied to the transistors. Okay. So here, to overcome the crossover distortion, we are taking an amplifier called class AB power amplifier. So class AB power amplifier means, as the name indicates, it is a combination of class A and class B amplifiers. It is a combination of class A and class B power amplifiers. We know class A amplifier means the transistor conducts for full cycle. Class B amplifier means the transistor conducts for 180 degrees. So the combination of class A and class B means, so here class A has the problem of lower efficiency, we know. Class B has the problem of distortion. Class A amplifier efficiency is 25 to 50%. That is lower efficiency. In class B, we have crossover distortion. Okay. So that's why this class AB amplifier is emerged to eliminate the problems of class A and class B. And by utilizing the advantages of both class A and class B, we can design the class AB power amplifier. By eliminating the disadvantages of class A and class B, and by taking the advantages of both class A and class B, we are designing class AB power amplifier. And this figure represents the class AB power amplifier. In this figure, we are using two transistors. One is NPN, another one is PNP. That means we are taking some complementary symmetry pair. We know complementary symmetry pair means complementary symmetry class B means we are taking one transistor as NPN transistor, another transistor as PNP transistor. Whereas in push-pull configuration, both the transistors are of same type. That is, both may be either NPN or PNP. But in case of complementary symmetry, we are using one transistor as NPN, another one as PNP. Okay. So here we are taking some complementary pair, and this is NPN transistor, this is PNP transistor. The structure is same as that of complementary symmetry power amplifier, but here we are adding some more components. That means we are making some modifications to that amplifier. Okay. So that means we are using some diodes D1 and D2 and some resistances R1 and R. Okay. So this is the schematic representation of class AB power amplifier. Okay. So with no input signal, the diodes, that is the point between the two diodes is 0. If there is no input signal, the voltage at this point is 0. That is the point between the two diodes is 0. Okay. So next, when we are applying some voltage, when we are applying some input signal to the circuit, then the current flows through the chain. There is a forward bias voltage drop approximately 0.7 volts across the diodes. which is applied to the base emitter junctions of two transistors. So that is, if there is no input signal, the voltage drop at this position is 0. If you are applying some input signal, then we have some voltage drop because of these two diodes. Okay, that is 0.7 volts. We know the voltage drop across the diodes, that is 0.7 volts. Because of this drop, we are having some 0.7 volts at the base emitter junctions of both the transistors. So this is base emitter junction and this is base emitter junction of these two transistors. Because of these two diodes, this diode provides 0.7 volts for this base emitter junction of transistor T1, and this diode provides minus 0.7 volts at the base emitter junction of second transistor. Okay, when we are applying some input signal. So therefore, the voltage drop across these two diodes biases the base emitter transistor T1 to about 0.7 volts and base of transistor T2 to about minus 0.7 volts. So that is because of these two diodes, we are providing cut-in voltage, that is 0.7 volts to first transistor and minus 0.7 volts to second transistor. Totally, we are providing 1.4 volts between the two bases of two transistors. Okay. So therefore, in class AB power amplifier, each of push-pull transistor is conducting for slightly more than half cycle of conduction in class B, but much less than full cycle of the conduction of class A. So here we are using, that means we can use, here we are using some complementary pair. We can also use push-pull configuration. So whatever it may be, by the use of these two diodes, we are maintaining some cut-in voltage to the two junctions of two transistors. That is two base emitter junctions of two transistors. So that's why we can eliminate the crossover distortion. Crossover distortion means that is the distortion which appears when there is no cut-in voltage at the base emitter junction. That is when there is no when there is no voltage of 0.7 volts at the base emitter junction, then automatically the transistor is in off condition. But by the use of these two diodes, we are providing obviously cut-in voltage, that is 0.7 volts to this transistor and minus 0.7 volts to this transistor, and whenever the signal is applied, the base emitter junction is 0.7 volts, then automatically, instantly the transistor is on and we can get full cycle. And similarly, this transistor is also conducting and we can get some full cycle. Because of these two diodes, we can get the full cycle at the output. There is no crossover distortion. Okay. And next, the conduction angle of class AB amplifier is 180 degrees to 360 degrees, somewhere between. So we know in class AB power amplifier, the conduction angle is 180 degrees to 360 because it is a combination of class A and class B. In class A, conduction angle is 360 degrees. In class B, conduction angle is 180 degrees. So that means we are combining these two amplifiers. So that's why the conduction angle is in the range of 180 degrees to 360 degrees. So depending on the operating point selected. So this is the figure. So here the operating point in class AB power amplifier is slightly greater than the this region, cutoff region. Okay, this is cutoff region. Normally we know in class B power amplifier, the operating point is on the x-axis. Okay, but in class A power amplifier, the operating point is in active region, that is at this position. So here we are using the advantages of class A and class B. So here the operating point is slightly greater than this axis. So that is operating point is at this position. Because of this position, we can get the full cycle at the output. There is no crossover distortion, and as well as the conduction angle is 180 degrees to 360 degrees. Okay, so this is about class AB power amplifier. So in this way, we can eliminate the crossover distortion. So next one, class C power amplifier. So when the collector current flows for less than half cycle of the input signal, then the power amplifier is known as class C power amplifier. So in class A, the transistor conducts for full cycle. In class B, the transistor conducts for half cycle. In class AB, the transistor conducts more than half cycle but less than full cycle. But in class C power amplifier, the transistor conducts for less than half cycle. That is less than 180 degrees. Okay. So that is when the collector current flows for less than 180 degrees of the input signal or half cycle of the input signal. The power amplifier is known as class C power amplifier. Okay. So the efficiency of class C amplifier is high while linearity is poor. Compared to all class A and class B power amplifiers, the efficiency of class C amplifier is high, but the linearity is poor. Okay. So the conduction angle for class C is less than 180 degrees. It is generally around 90 degrees, which means that the transistor remains ideal for more than half of the input signal. So if conducts 180 degrees, approximately 90 degrees means the transistor remains in the ideal state of more than half of the input signal. Okay. So that is the output current will be delivered for less time compared to the application of the input signal. So compared to the input signal, the output current delivered for less time. Okay. So this is the circuit of class C power amplifier. In class C power amplifier, we are using a resonance circuit, that is parallel resonance circuit, LC circuit in the collector terminal. Okay. So here, if you observe the figure, this is the operating point position. Here, the operating point is below the cut-in region, cut-off region. So this is the region when we have when we consider the class C power amplifier. So in class C power amplifier, the operating point is in this region. So that is cut-off region. Okay. So because of this position, the output signal conducts for less than 180 degrees. That is, the transistor conducts for less than 180 degrees. Okay. So if operating point is in the active region, then we have 25 to 50%. If the operating point is on the x-axis for class B, efficiency increases, that is 78.5%. If the operating point below the x-axis, that is in the cutoff region, then efficiency increases, but there is no linearity. Okay. So this is the output signal. This is the output signal, which is less than 180 degrees of the input signal. This is the input signal we are applying, but here we are getting only the cycle as less than 180 degrees. Because of this operating point position, we can get this signal as shown in this figure. So this kind of biasing gives a much improved efficiency of around 80% theoretically. But introduces heavy distortion in the output. So as we mentioned earlier, so because of the operating point position, the efficiency increases up to 80%, but there is no linearity. So that is, it introduces heavy distortion in the output. Okay. So this type of amplifiers that we have discussed so far cannot work effectively at radio frequencies. That means it is good at audio frequencies. Class C amplifiers works good at audio frequencies, but these type of amplifiers cannot work effectively at radio frequencies. Okay. Also, the gain of these amplifiers is such that it will not vary according to the frequency of the signal or a wide range. So the gain also, the gain means the ratio of output to input. So the gain of these amplifiers is such that it will not vary according to the frequency of the input signal. So this is about class C power amplifier. Okay. So far we have discussed class A amplifier, class B amplifier, class C amplifier, and class AB power amplifier. Okay. So in class A amplifier, the transistor conducts for 360 degrees and efficiency is 25 to 50% only. And operating point is at the center of the location. That is in the active region. And in class B amplifier, the operating point is on the x-axis and the conduction angle is 180 degrees. That is, the transistor conducts for half cycle of the input signal, and the efficiency is 78.5%. So whereas in class B amplifier, we have some crossover distortion that will be eliminated in class AB power amplifier. In class AB power amplifier, it is a combination of class A and class B. In this class AB power amplifier, the operating point is located just above the x-axis. Just above the x-axis. Because of this position, the conduction angle is in the range of 180 to 360 degrees. That is, the transistor conducts more than half cycle but less than full cycle of the input. Okay. And next, class C amplifier. So in class C amplifier, the operating point is below the x-axis, and because of this position, the conduction angle is less than 180 degrees. That is, the transistor conducts for less than 180 degrees of the input signal, and the efficiency is 80%. That is more than class B power amplifier, but we have some non-linearity, or we have some distortion at the output. Okay, so that is the overview of class B power amplifiers. So thank you.